Hi everyone, in this video I want to show you how to locate and download your project files for your projects A and B. We are not going to be doing our projects A and B through my IT lab, as it might mention in the book, but we will be doing them in your program, and then you will submit them to me through Canvas. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to the modules page, and even if you're not in this particular class, the steps are still very much the same, so don't worry about if it doesn't look exactly like what you're seeing in your class. Just keep along with the steps, okay? So let's say for chapter 1, I've already looked at my first page, which is talking about the PowerPoint and video resources. So I have here step 2, and it says complete project 1A and 1B. So when I click that link, I come to a page that has detailed information about these projects. Okay, and again, I'm reminding you that we're not going to be using my IT lab for projects A and B. So down, if I'm looking here, it says download the following files for your chapter 1 exercises. Now for your particular class, you may not have a file to download for chapter 1. In some classes, you start a file from scratch, and that's fine. Just read the directions. But going forward in each chapter, you will have files to download. So for project 1A, I have 2 files to download, and project 1B, I have 2 files to download. I'm using the Chrome internet browser, so if yours is a little different, just kind of stick with me. If you have questions, you can certainly always ask me. So what I did here was I clicked right on this link for the first file. When you see this little icon here, that's a preview of the document, so it allows you to look at it before you download it if you want to. It's not necessary. Some you'll see, like the databases, don't have a preview. So again, if you're in the database class, you won't have a preview button for that one. So what I usually do is I just go ahead and click on each one of the links, and you can see that as I do that, then they're showing up down here on my little taskbar here. So I'll go ahead and I may as well download all of them at one time. So I'm just clicking directly on each link. I'll click on that one too, and then hopefully they'll both show up down there. So then what I usually like to do, and please feel free to, to save your files however you're comfortable with, but what I usually like to do is I will go to just one of my downloads, and I'll click on the little button and I'll say show in folder. This will display the downloads folder for me, and yours may look very, very different, but I do see the files that I just downloaded. So a quick way for me to select all of them is if I click on the first one and I come down here, and before I click on the last one, I'm holding down on my shift key and then clicking, and that allows me to select all of those at the same time. And then what I'm going to do is move them into my class folder. So you can either use the move to, or I just usually do a cut and paste. So you can click on cut or Control X. So now what I want to do is decide on where I'm putting my my files for my class. I think for simplicity's sakes, I'm just going to go ahead and click on the desktop. Let's go ahead and create a new folder. And I'm going to type in the name for my new folder. Let's see here. I had to, for some reason, it didn't give me the ability to rename it, so I just had to click on it once and then click and then wait for a second, click on it again to rename it. And I'll just call this CBTE Fall Class. You can call this whatever makes sense to you. Okay, so I pressed enter to accept that name. And then I'm going to go ahead and double click on that folder to open it. So now you can see I'm on my desktop inside my CBTE Fall Class folder. And just to keep things organized, I'm going to go ahead and make myself another folder, and I'm going to call it Chapter 1. And then again, just press enter to accept that name. And then I can either press enter again or double click to open up my Chapter 1 folder. Oops, sorry about that. There we go. So now you can see up here, this is giving me my path. I'm on the desktop, inside my class folder, inside Chapter 1. Now I can come down here anywhere. I'm using a PC, so I just did a right click and chose paste. You can do Control V, you can click paste up there, whatever works best for you. You can see that all 4 of my files copied over, and that's how now they're in Chapter 1, my Chapter 1 folder. So just to look at things, if I go over here, I can see on my desktop is my CBTE fall class. If I double click on that folder, it opens it up. There's my Chapter 1 folder. And then here are all the files that I just saved. So now if I need to work on anything, I can just go ahead and either access it from here or open up the program and then open my files from here. So I hope that that helps. Again, remember that, let me go back to our Canvas website. Remember that on this page where we have Complete Project 1A and 1B, you will find any files that you need for those exercises. And then usually I might have some notes or information about how to save your files, the naming, and that type of thing. So continue to scroll down on the page just to make sure you don't miss anything important. Okay, so I hope that that is helpful, and see you next time.